Thank you for your interest in this tender issued by Council Solutions for a range of engineering and consulting services. Moving on to the next slide.
The purpose of this presentation and audio is to assist tenderers to navigate the RFT document and to explain some of the aspects of the RFT. Please note there is a communication process where prospective tenderers are able to ask questions. This is outlined in RFT Section A, Clause 12, and the email address tenders@councilsolutions.sa.gov.au can be utilised. As a disclaimer, this presentation does not override or replace the RFT, nor any tenderer's duty to inform itself. It's provided for information to assist tenderers without prejudice. Moving on to the next slide.
The RFT document comprises 6 sections. Section A is the background and general information for tenderers. It's suggested that this is the best starting point for prospective tenderers to understand the document and gain background information. Section B contains the conditions of tendering. Section C outlines the evaluation criteria and the proposed evaluation process. Section D is the proposed contract for the provision of the services. Section E are the specifications, and this describes the engineering consulting disciplines and the likely tasks that might be required through the life of the contract. Section F are the tender response schedules. These will need to be completed by tenderers and returned. The file structure on the SA Tenders and Contracts website is as follows. Sections A, B, C, E and F are contained in a single electronic file. Section D, which is the proposed contract, is contained in a separate electronic file. Furthermore, the response template, or Section F, is also available as an MS Word file for completion and return by tenderers. Moving on to the next slide. This RFT is to establish a panel of providers for various engineering consulting services disciplines. The disciplines are explained in Section A and E and are listed on this slide. There are 13 in total. Tenderers are able to respond to any or all of the disciplines. The participating councils are outlined in Clause 2 of Section A, and they include the City of Adelaide, Charles Sturt, Marion, Onkaparinga, Salisbury and Tea Tree Gully. Clause 4 of Section A outlines existing arrangements that some of these participating councils have for these services. The transition to Council Solutions panel arrangement from these existing arrangements will be based on the terms of any of the existing arrangements and the value for money that is provided by tenderers through this tender process. Moving on to the next slide.
Clause 6.4 of Section A discusses the project categories. These have been designed to cater for the different scale and mix of projects that are expected by the participating councils. Tenderers can use the project categories to tender for their preferred type of project. Tenderers need to select one project category for each discipline that is tendered for, not both. Project categories will guide the evaluation of tenders and subsequently the allocation of work to contractors. Please note the different insurance requirements for the project categories. Clause 7.2 of Section A discusses the panel size. The size of the panel has not been predetermined, but the panel is expected to be no bigger than is required to cover the expected capacity needs, whilst ensuring a mix of contractors to cover the expected requirements of the participating councils. This will be a competitive process, not a large pre-qualification list, and tenderers are advised to consider how they might best present value for money through the submission of their tenders. Whether that be, for example, through the team and capability that is presented, the competitiveness of the schedule of rates, or compliance levels to the contract. Participating councils also reserve the right to change the panel. Section C of the RFT describes the evaluation criteria, and these are not presented in any order of priority. Section C also explains the evaluation approach, including the phases and shortlisting considerations. Moving on to the next slide.
The panel term is addressed in Section 7.3 of Section A. Initially 4 years are proposed, 2017 through to 2021. The contract execution is anticipated to be late July or early August of 2017, dependent on the progress of the tender process and the value for money presented. There are 2 one-year extension options available as well. The panel engagement process is addressed in Clause 7.4 of Section A. Participating councils will issue requests for quotes to contractors following their own internal rules. This may be via email or systems that the participating councils use. Participating councils will undertake an evaluation of quotes and then order services. There is no guarantee of any volume, and participating councils reserve the right to not use the panel in certain circumstances. Moving on to the next slide. Section F contains the response schedules. These have been mapped to the evaluation criteria and should be completed and returned. There is no need to submit external or additional marketing materials. Schedule 3 requires tenderers to state the discipline and project categories that are covered by the tender. Please note, there are generic schedules that only need to be completed once, irrespective of the number of disciplines that a tender covers. There are also discipline-specific schedules that need to be completed for each discipline that a tender covers. Please adhere to the page limits where specified. Regarding the schedule of rates, please submit all-inclusive maximum hourly rates for all the positions listed. These rates are to be fixed for 12 months with an annual CPI review thereafter. Council Solutions also has an administration fee. This is a 2% fee which is payable by councils. Councils are to be invoiced the administration fee by contractors via their tax invoices for services that they render. The administration fee is to be listed as a separate line item on these tax invoices. Subsequently, this will be remitted to Council Solutions 6 monthly upon a presentation by Council Solutions to contractors of a tax invoice. Finally, the close time and date. The close time is 2 p.m. Wednesday, the 1st of March 2017, and submissions are required via the SA Tenders and Contracts website. Thank you for your interest in this tender.